my mindset. I operate on a level of excellence, and you guys need to wake up every single day, and you need to operate on a level of excellence and create your masterpiece.
What's up, guys? And I'm excited about what I'm going to talk to you in this podcast episode today. It's going to be one of real talk. It's going to be one that comes from the heart, and it may be something that you need to hear right now. Maybe not what you want to hear, but what you need to hear, because it's getting exhausting, or it's exhausting to hear so many people giving up on their goals, on their dreams, whatever it is they're trying to accomplish, because it didn't work out for them overnight. We have become such a microwave mentality. We have become a society that we expect our success to happen overnight. We are a Google society. We want our success to be just as quick as we can Google something and get success in a half a second. But life doesn't work that way. Success doesn't work that way. I can tell you right now, as I stand here right now, in every aspect of my life, I did not build an international large direct sales business overnight. It took years. I did not become a captain with the New York State Police overnight. It took years. I did not become a keynote motivational speaker. It took many years. I spoke for free for 10 years. And if I think back even right now, and I just got off a call, an amazing mastermind call, talking about my journey and talking about everything I've been through. And the one thing I shared, and I'll share with you guys, is that over the last 2 years, I have reached out to more than 4,000 different events. The people that are coordinating events for me to share my message of what I speak about as a motivational speaker when it comes to vision and mindset and urgency. But the reality is I haven't been at or spoke at close to 4,000 events. But the point is, in this big message today, is you need to trust the process. You need to understand it will take a lot of work. You need to understand it's not going to happen overnight. I need you to hear that I have sent out thousands and thousands of emails, as well as thousands and thousands of follow-ups with rejection, with people that don't answer you. But the thing is this, I love what I do. And I have learned that I cannot attach emotion to certain things because I believe in what I do. And that's what's going to keep me going. So I want to share with you 5 points that you need to hear right now when it comes to trusting the process. 5 things I want to talk about when it comes to that you need to hear, because right now you may be struggling with that goal you're trying to achieve. You may be struggling with that business you're trying to have success in. You may be struggling thinking you deserve more. But let me tell you this. Every single time that I have achieved a certain benchmark and looking back at where I was, in the moment when I thought I should be where I was present day, I knew right then and there I wasn't ready for it. I needed to grow through the time. I needed to trust the process. So right now I want to share these 5 things with you, and I'll even give you a bonus one when it comes down to trusting the process that you need to hear. Number 1 is this, and I kind of opened with it. It's not going to happen overnight. When I think of my speaking journey, for 10 years, I spoke for free at many of the direct sales business events with the company that I was with and still am today. 10 years. And over the last 2 years, over 4,000 reach outs. Or when I started my Beachbody business, it took a few years to get momentum and success. So right now, you are tripping, or you are thinking of giving up or quitting because you're facing a little adversity. Listen, everything worthwhile is uphill. Struggle is part of the process. We don't learn anything when things go right. You learn when things are going wrong. So when things go wrong or you lose, learn to love the loss. Learn to find the life lesson. Learn to trust the process. And my goodness, you need to have patience. You need to have massive patience. I love Gary Vaynerchuk. He talks about macro patience, micro speed. Let me say that again. Macro patience, Micro speed, it means you have to have massive patience, gigantic, large patience, a ton of patience. But micro, at the smallest level, every single day, within the hours, minutes, and seconds, and how you show up, you got to be showing up super fast in the micro, okay? So the number one point is this: it won't happen overnight. Number two is this: more days than not, you're not going to feel like doing the things that you know you need to do. Let me say that again. More days than not, you're not going to feel like doing the work that you need to do. It's just the reality of life. Yes, it's great for me, present day, to get on stage and go and speak as a keynote speaking, but the work that's done behind the scenes, and whatever the behind the scenes is work that you need to do to get to that goal, more days than not, you're not going to want to feel like doing it. And that's why I'm going to say this, and this is kind of like number two, but A. 2A, sub is this: you cannot pour from an empty cup. You cannot pour from an empty cup. You cannot burn the candle at both ends. So if you have big goals and you know that the days, more days than not, are going to be hard as you're going through this adversity, this growth journey, well, then you need to do something to take care of your mind and your body, right? What books are you reading? What books are you listening to? What are you consuming on social media? What podcasts are you listening to? What YouTube channels are you listening to? Are you listening to the news all day? Are you reading a book on success and failure and leadership and positive mindset? What are you fueling your mind with? Number one, and are you taking care of your body physically? Do you have the energy to sustain the trials and tribulations that you're going to go through? So you have to be physically ready to handle that. You need to be physically ready, and you need to have a positive mindset. So on the days when you don't feel like doing it, which are more days than not, so you understand that, you are prepared to push through. So remember that. More days than not, you are not going to feel like doing it. So when that happens, don't get caught up in panicking thinking it's supposed to be easy. Point number 3 is this. I think this is a great one. Only take criticism from people who are more successful than you. You want me to be more specific? Only take criticism from people that are more successful than you in the thing that you are trying to accomplish. Okay? Everybody else, don't take their opinions for any of value. Not that I'm saying you shouldn't listen to your best friends or your mom or dad, but more, you're going to have so many critics and naysayers and people that are going to tell you what you're doing is a waste of time, who've never walked in your shoes, who never accomplished a thing, who never achieved the thing you want to achieve. Right now, for me, unless you are a more successful keynote speaker or an author when I wrote my book, or you're somebody that's already done what I'm trying to get to, I'm not taking advice from you. I'm sorry. I love you. It's no disrespect. It's nothing negative, but you haven't walked in my shoes and you haven't achieved what I want to achieve. So your opinion to me, you know what? I like to say bless and release. Thank you so much, but it really doesn't, I don't care. So stop taking criticism and taking negative comments and letting yourself internalize to those things that's affecting you from showing up every single day. Point number 4 is this. You must love what you're doing or else you just won't make it. I'm being dead honest with you. If you are in a career or you're trying to build a business that you don't love the end result. So right now, I love speaking, inspiring, and motivating people and taking my journey of life and the things that I've learned and I failed at and what I learned from the failures. I love taking that to serve and empower other people to improve their lives, to live up to their fullest potential. I love that piece. So you know what? If I didn't love that, would I be able to deal with scheduling and emails and videos and doing all the minutia, all the work you have to do when nobody's watching you, that work you need to do at 11:30 at night when your whole family is asleep, but you have to answer that email, you have to make that presentation put together, you have to stay late at the office, whatever it is, you got to be there in your business when nobody else is there because the business at the end, it ends with you. So you have to put in the extra hours. If you don't love the end result, you're not going to make it. So right now, if there's something that you're in a business or you're in a career and you're trying to get to be, a vice president or a C-suite person or get there and you don't love it, you're not going to survive because when things get hard, you're going to stop. It's just the reality. Because for me, when things get hard, what keeps me going is I love what I do. And I know that hard work is part of any process. And I know that I'm doing something at least that I love. So that's what keeps me going. Okay? Point number 5 is you need to make decisions based on principles over emotions. I'll say that again. You need to make decisions based on principles over emotions. Principles are, if you're consistent at something every single day and you're disciplined at something every single day, you will succeed. You know that if you have grit and you have perseverance and you have tenacity and you have intestinal fortitude and you show up every single day as hard as it is, even when you don't want to, quote unquote, your emotions are telling you no, you're following the principles of what it takes to succeed. Everybody knows you need discipline. Everybody needs to persevere. Everybody knows you need to be consistent, but most aren't willing to do that. Why? Because common sense isn't always common practice. I'll say that again. Common sense isn't always common practice, but the principles that I just listed work. So you need to do them even when you don't feel like doing them. When your feelings are sad or you're angry or you're tired or you have all these things happening in your life, all these problems happening in your life, my friends, the reality is this. You're either in a problem, coming out of a problem, or there's a problem on the horizon tomorrow. So things are going to come at you. Your feelings and emotions are not going to be in a line with principles, but you need to do them anyway. Okay? You need to do them anyway. Principles over emotions. I once heard Eric Thomas say, at the end of our principles is a promise, but at the end of our emotions is nothing. And I'm like, wow, that's true, because the end of principles is a promise. They're tried and true. They're frameworks. They're philosophies. They work. But at the end of our emotions is nothing, because our emotions usually are empty at the end. So you got to remember that. And guys, I'm going to give you my bonus thing, and I'm going to call it as it is. My bonus point is this. Complaining gets you nowhere. Listen, nobody cares. You may think when you're venting and complaining, and listen, I'm not saying my wife and I have a thing where we have like a 24-hour pity party. Something bad happens. You get 24 hours to kind of complain and whine. But then after that, get off your soapbox and move on. Why? Because everybody's dealing with their own problems. Everybody's dealing with their own struggles. Nobody's immune to the difficulties of life. And when you're complaining to somebody else, at the end of the day, they don't care. They have their own things to worry about. Your attitude determines your altitude. I'll say that again. Your attitude determines your altitude. So if your attitude is complaining and it stinks and it sucks and you're whining, you're the one that's stopping yourself from success. You're the one that's stopping yourself from reaching the higher altitude because your attitude is super poor. You have to change it. Stop complaining. Stop whining. Nobody cares. So guys, to wrap up, and I know this is kind of a quick rapid fire thing, and I thought of this because of just talking to people. And guys, even myself, I'll be honest, I have to remind myself, David, trust the process, right? The goals that I have, so often I have to remind myself how far I've come instead of how far I need to go, right? Look at your goals, notice how far you came, and stop looking how far you need to go. And when you do look at how far you need to go, trust the process. And I need to do that to myself sometime and remind myself to trust the process. So guys, again, to wrap up, my 5 main points, it's not going to happen overnight. Get rid of the microwave Google mentality. Number 2, more days than not, you're not going to feel like doing it, but you need to show up anyway. Number 3, only take criticism from people that are more successful than you, and more specifically, more successful than you in the thing or field you're trying to accomplish. Number 4, you must love it, or else you're just not going to make it, because the only way you're going to push through hard times is if you love what you do or you love what you're trying to become. Point 5 is principles over emotions. Principles over emotions. Go on principles over emotions. And my bonus point is this: stop complaining, stop whining. Nobody cares, and your attitude determines your altitude. So guys, that's the podcast episode for this week. Trust the process. Please like this, comment, share this episode so we can reach more people, so we all can make an impact. By you sharing it, you're looking after others to serve others by trying to help them improve their life. And like I say, help people to live up to their fullest potential. With that, guys, I will talk to you next week. Bye-bye. Thank you for listening to this episode of the Personal Perseverance Project. My goal every single day is to help people live up to their fullest potential. So please share this episode, subscribe to my channel, and maybe even leave a review. Be sure to connect and follow me on all my social media channels. And if you would like more information about me potentially being a keynote speaker at your event, or maybe you want to work with me one-on-one as your private coach, be sure to go to my website at davidatkinsspeaks.com for more information. Thank you.